Welcome everybody to the Hot Tag Hooligans Wrestling Podcast Show with myself, Aaron, and Tom. It's the time of year, Tom. It's time to give thanks. And tonight we're going to give thanks for our guest. It's Adrianna Mosley. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Now, I mentioned Thanksgiving's upcoming. Are there any special Thanksgiving traditions that you have?
Not really. My tradition really is just being the taste tester and just, picking out and then regretting it the next day.
What is your go-to Thanksgiving Day kind of food?
Probably the mac and cheese, but I'm one of those weirdos that like to mix the mac and cheese and candied yams.
That sounds great to me, actually.
Yeah, it's like my favorite part.
Okay, so this is where it gets weird. I've never had yams ever, ever. I'm sorry, I haven't. So sell me on yams. Why should I try some yams this year?
I don't, how can I explain it? Because when I talk about food, I go in depth. Um, it's just something about like the sweetness. It depends on who cooks it too, but it's like so sweet. And then when you mix it with mac and cheese, I don't know, it's like that sweet and salty flavor. So good, so good.
All right, this Thursday, if somebody's got yams at my dinner table, I'm gonna throw some yams and some mac and cheese together. And I'm gonna give it a whirl. And if it's fantastic, I'm gonna hit you up on social media and say, "Yep, you were right."
Just blows my mind you've never had yams. Like,
I know.
you've been on
Well, I
this
mean,
earth for a long time
oh, here we go.
and you've never had yams. Wow.
It's just not a go-to that my family kind of prepares. It's just not one that's in our wheelhouse. I think everyone's got that one dish that is, so significant with their families. Ours is this cranberry salad that my dad makes. It's the kind of the go-to as far as we go.
I never
All
heard of
right, let's
cranberry
talk.
salad.
Yeah, cranberry salad is on fire. It's got some pecans in it. Oh, it's got some chopped up apples in it.
Oh, that
It's
sounds good.
Yeah, your sugar level's going to be through the roof. Let me just tell you that right now. It's diabetes, uh, in a bow is what it is for sure. All right, so as we get through these holidays and we're talking about food, let's talk about your wrestling career. 'Cause there's a lot to be thankful for right now with your wrestling career as well. You're really starting to make some waves all across the U.S. right now, and you haven't been in the game too long. So talk to us a little about your experience and what you're really thankful for as far as that goes.
For one, I'm really thankful for all of the opportunities that are presented to me. No matter the size of the promotion, it's always grateful. I'm always grateful to have that kind of work, just because of the experience that I'm building. And I was really taken aback by how fast I had blew up. I was in and out of this business for a while, due to family and medical concerns. Um, and I didn't really expect to be successful. Um, but I'm definitely grateful for the people that took a chance on me and actually, gave me a shot.
So as you're developing your in-ring career, you're working on that aspect of things. With 2023 being such a technologically advanced time period, what are you doing to help elevate your brand when it comes to social media and things like that?
Um, I guess just like posting out there, really taking time to perfect my craft, whether it's taking photos, doing like highlight reels of any matches that I have. I like to, though I do upload my matches onto my YouTube channel. I also make like little reels that I put on my Instagram, so it kind of catches people's eye, and then I just drop the YouTube link. So it's really just, taking pride in like my craft and what I do, and really taking the time out of my day to perfect what I'm putting out there on the internet.
Now, do you find it difficult sometimes for certain things to hit and then other things to hit and you're not sure why it hit versus something else?
Yeah, there are some things like especially when I see like a fire um in-ring photo, and some people they don't kind of like they don't notice it. But if I upload like a video of me slamming someone in that same match, I notice that blew up. I guess it's all just about um how like the angle is and trying to find like a picture that actually will catch the person's eye.
One thing that you said earlier that kind of, really struck my attention was that you stated that even the smallest promotions you're thankful for. And I know sometimes in pro wrestling that's very hard because let's be honest, you're either in the business because you really want to go for it and you want to make it, or it's just a hobby for some people as they get up older. And I don't think for you that's the case. And I know that you've got your sights set kind of high on things. So how do you stay humble though with those smaller promotions? Because to me, some of the smaller promotions is where it's at more than the big ones.
I think it's just how I stay humble is my dad always said you can always it's just as quick as you can earn something, someone can take it away. And I'm just grateful, even though it might be a smaller promotion and the draw might not be as large as somewhere else that I've worked. Um, just giving someone like that little bit of something, I guess, just seeing the look on someone's face when they see me, or um, like just someone like looking at me, really. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm confusing my words. I guess it's just being grateful for the opportunity, because someone took time and money out of their pockets that they could have gave to someone else, but they really wanted me. I guess I don't know. I think it's something that where I was like really fighting for bookings, um, that I'm just always grateful no matter what.
And unless you are the son or daughter of a major former pro wrestler, this is where it starts. It starts at these some of these small promotions. Some of the talent that I have seen, I tell people this sometimes on the podcast, and we've mentioned it. I watched Shawn Michaels wrestle in my high school gym, and then look where his career went. And then you look at the way the generation is now. So many people are starting so much younger. They're training at these small schools as well. So shout out a few of those small promotions that people need to know about.
I will say IAW out in Manassas, Virginia. Tony Tone, you are an amazing person. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Who else? SWF, Rob Fury, thank you for the opportunity. And Test of Strength, Wagner Brown, thank you for the opportunity. Even though I know I've been out of the business for a while, you were the one that really just like kept reaching out to me and trying to push me to get up to Connecticut. So thank you so much.
I think it's important too that even at the smaller shows, you're reaching more people. Even if it's a small amount of people, it's a different person. It's a different town. So I think the more people that you can get in front of, the more people are going to go try to find you on social media and then figure out when you're wrestling next. I think it's a really good time right now for people to travel and to be able to um, basically spread um, the knowledge of them being a talent. And do you find yourself looking for bookings in multiple places to try to help get your name out there?
So yes and no. I try to, even though I'm pretty regular at 1CW, I also like to spread my wings and go to other places in different states. Um, some are unable to pay for like my accommodations. So it's all like I would like to have bookings, but I'm also not gonna kill myself over it. The internet is a big place for me to be able to kind of advertise myself. But yes, there's like sometimes where I like to, if I'm bored and I want to do something, I'll be like, all right, let me go find something to do and promotion to wrestle too. Because even though it's small, um, that's still footage I can use. That's still pictures that I can use, all to just add to my portfolio.
Yeah, we're in this era right now where, we've we've talked to so many people, and some people say, "I'm not gonna take a booking unless I think it's something that can further my career." And then we have some people that we talk to that state, "I'm still in the process of I gotta get out there, I gotta get my name out there, I've gotta learn as much as I can, I gotta try to make as much money as I can as well." And let's be honest, wrestling's a business where you basically get paid to invest back into yourself. And finding that balance has to be mentally stressful sometimes, correct?
Very. Because, and I'm glad you asked that question. A lot of people are really killing themselves over bookings. And I'm like, your time will come. The amount of time that you put in yourself, whether it's in the gym, whether it's advertising yourself online or in training, um, it all depends on the outcome of your career. And some people, I just see them, they're like, well, I'll settle for less. And I'm like, well, you do you, but I'm not going to do that. And I think I'm at that point in time in my career where I have a shoot job where it pays all my bills and pro wrestling just keeps me sane. But I also see people that are like trying to kill themselves so they can get somewhere. And it's kind of sad because some of them are stuck because they don't have the right guidance and the right mentality to be successful in the business.
Do you think that's just maturity?
Yeah, it comes with time. Like I notice a lot of people that just started training and are just now getting their foot in the door with wrestling. They're taking anything that they can, and that's how a lot of people get taken advantage of in this business because you do have, unfortunately, promoters that they talk about, oh, I want to give you a chance, but then they're just like preying upon somebody that's green.
Yeah, you hear about them all the time, and I'm sure you deal with it on a constant basis, trying to figure out who that you don't want to work for more than who you do want to work for. But it's a shame that we still live in a world where people can't be upfront and be honest about what they're offering to the talent when they are booking shows. Because I think it would, we live in a time where pro wrestling on the independent scene can be very profitable if people are actually putting the investment on the front side of it and the talent. Even where we're at in the Kentucky, Indiana area, there's shows that come through, but if somebody were to focus some money and really pull in the talent and pay for their travel and their hotel and get some stuff going, I think that's all it would need. And a place like this area would be a hotbed for pro wrestling, where they could draw crowds that are pretty big on a weekly basis. What are you seeing out there as you're navigating through that and trying to figure out, who those bookers are and how to stay away from some of them?
So word of mouth always helps when it comes to this. Like especially when you're networking with other pro wrestlers and say if I see and I have a habit of doing it and I will say it's a good habit. Say like a promoter hits me up, they ask me, are you available on this day? If so, what's your booking fee, and all of like your credentials. So if I see like a friend of mine on the card, I'll ask them, hey, how's so and so? How's this promotion? Have you been paid like your rate? Is the locker room professional? How's everything? Even the ring, when it comes down to the ring, because I don't want to be in a ring where I'm gonna almost kill myself. Um, and then also, I social media also is a blessing and a curse because there's a lot of promotions out here that are steady trying to tear each other down, and it's so sad. If they're a part of that drama, I really try to stay away from that because then they start that whole thing. Well, I'll book you, but you can't work here. For one, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an independent wrestler. You can't tell me where I can and can't work. If I have a if until I have a contract with someone that says that and they're actually paying me nice, then no. Um, but it's all just about like references. I asked multiple people how this promoter is, and then also you do have like a lot of promoters that are kind of like creeps. They kind of seem like they're the good guy, but then they turn out and they kind of try to, especially with women's wrestling, they try to prey upon us women because they think that we can't defend ourselves.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. We would love to run our own show one time at least and say that we've done it. But there's so much fear in it as well. I mean, you never know how the house will respond as far as, the paid gate. I'm sure you got to have quite a bit of money on the front side, like Tom said, to make sure that the talent's paid for because you don't want that bad reputation as well. I just think sometimes some of these people who get involved don't understand that, and then they're too far into the forest that they can't see the trees, and then it's all downhill from there.
Exactly. I just it's like a saying that I say is a lot of people want to be promoters, but they don't want the responsibility of a promoter.
I 100% understand that. So, on the other side of your wrestling career, you do have a lot of other interests as well. Video games and anime are kind of your go-to. And I want to talk to you a little bit about anime because it's a genre that I've had trouble getting into. My son loves it, absolutely loves it. He's 17. And did you watch the One Piece television series on Netflix?
So sad as I am to say this, I could not get into One Piece. I couldn't get into it.
Because this is where I kind of got into the TV show, but I can't get into the cartoons. So, and Tom's the same way. He hasn't had luck as far as getting into anime as well, but it's so popular with pro wrestlers. Why do you think it is that anime is something that it just draws itself to pro wrestlers?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess it's because with a lot of the characters. Okay, I got it. So a lot of the characters when it comes to like anime, you have a storyline. Just like with pro wrestling, you have a storyline. And then you have like your introduction where it's establishing who's the heel and the face, and anime, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and then the face in both stories is going through whatever they're basically building up their good guy character, and then you have like your climax. So I think it's just like the way like the storyline is when it comes to both pro wrestling and anime is what a lot of us can relate to.
Yeah, I'm completely lost when it comes to anime. Like I missed it completely as a fandom when I was growing. Well, I mean, I'm not the same age as Aaron, but like when I was in high school and stuff, it was real popular. But I was so anti anything that was popular at the time. That was my attitude about everything. And I just never did fall into the anime thing. But I will say that I think the art in the anime is fantastic. And every time I'm a big collector of like action figures, and I'm just about the biggest weirdo it comes to when it comes to collecting. And I see these anime figures at the stores, and I see the detail and the characters, and they look so larger than life. It looks really cool. I just, I don't know. I just can't get into watching them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was at first I really wasn't like an anime fan, and I forget what anime. I think it was Spirited Away that got me hooked. Um, but it's like with a lot of animes, that's why I like about it is you have like different genres of anime for each person's taste.
And for people who don't know, Spirit Away is highly regarded as one of the best animated movies of all time. I have debated heavily on actually watching that because I'm in this thing this year where I was trying to watch 2 movies a week for the year, and of course I've already surpassed that. And Spirited Away always comes up in conversation. So if you were going to tell myself and Tom, like, listen, I know y'all aren't into it. What is the one anime, whether it be movie or TV series, that you would recommend to us as our last ditch effort?
Um, Probably definitely Spirited Away as the movie. If it was a TV show, probably Attack on Titan.
See, and
Now,
I
my
and I just saw
nephew,
somebody, yeah, I saw somebody recently say that was one of the best series of all time just recently, and it just wrapped up, correct?
Yeah, we just the last episode came out last week, I think.
my nephew has some of those Funko Pops, and he talks about that all the time. And I'm just like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like I need to go check it out though, because it's growing more and more popularity, and people talking about it. And I just feel like I'm on the outside looking in, like I don't know.
Yeah,
My
it is.
son's in the background right now telling me it's amazing. It's amazing. He's over here on the side right now from his bedroom. I hear him saying it's amazing. So
It
Attack on Titan. I guess I better give it a shot.
it is so good. I will give you a heads up, and your friend will agree with me. Season two was kind of hard to get through, but it was like it's something you got to pay attention to because then towards like season four, everything will make sense.
Okay,
There's a lot of TV series that there's some seasons that are just hard to get into. So yeah. All righty. Well, before we let you go, tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Twitter at Adrianna Mosley 9. Also on Instagram at Big Daddy Adri with 2 eyes. Also, my Twitch is under that same username. I'm also under Adriana Mosley on Facebook. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'm just going to be honest. I thought your insight, as far as the business and how it kind of works, was very insightful tonight. Definitely a fresh perspective on some things, and we appreciate you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, though, we do have some big news for all of our listeners. Tom's new book has finally dropped. Tom, floor is yours.
well,
Ooh.
see, I started on a project. I'm a big fan of things that spark my interest, like Bigfoot, UFOs, things of that nature. So I started out on this journey where I decided I was going to interview individuals across the U.S. who have had encounters with Bigfoot and tell their stories. So I was able to do that with individuals from multiple states, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and then right around here, I was able to actually go on location with a few of them in Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois. And then I also was able to reach out to someone and share their story from Scotland and then one from Canada. And the biggest thing that came out of this book for me is, when I went out to start to write the book, I just thought it was going to be a book of stories because they're fun to hear and listen to. But as I vetted the individuals' stories and really started building a rapport with them, I realized there was a trend with the way it made them feel and the way that their life was shaped going forward. Do you tell people about your experience? Um, do you look crazy in front of most people? How do you go on with life with living with the truth of what you've experienced or what you believe you experienced? So I've never had an encounter myself, so I can't say that Bigfoot's real. However, I 100% believe that there are people out there that do. And my book, somehow, some guy that's not college educated, who is a huge pro wrestling fan, who likes to learn about things that are, not necessarily the mainstream, I was able to put this together, and I had a little guidance from best-selling author over there, Aaron Shafter, but I was able to put this together, and I'm very proud of it. It is available on BarnesandNoble.com. Paperback is $20, so I hope everybody, takes a look at it, and I think you'll enjoy it, even if you don't believe in Bigfoot. There's stories about people's lives and how they live through that challenge of trying to keep going after something like that has happened to them.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was able to cheat by helping Tom. I've been able to read the book so far. Very interesting stories. Like Tom said, I believe that these people who are telling these stories believe in everything that they saw and did. And that makes it really compelling. So again, at barnesandnobles.com, hold it up one more time, Tom. Stories of Bigfoot Living with the Truth. Available at barnesandnobles.com. And Tom was a little bit modest here, but he did crack up to number 5 on the bestsellers list under alternative beliefs. And that's a great accomplishment as well. And I know he's going to appreciate all the support everyone out there can give him as well. And don't forget, December 1st, my new one, Team Over Me, will also drop at pre-order right now at barnesandnobles.com. We appreciate all the support from everyone as always. Hit that subscribe button. Go around, follow Adrianna Mosley, because she's the next big thing. You need to start following her right now. Get on that train. And we appreciate everyone as always. Thank you all, and have a good night.